All right, we're gonna get started. Welcome to the OMI Community Collaborative meeting, our weekly Tuesday afternoon meeting. We're gonna go around and we are going to introduce ourselves and introduce ourselves with our names and our organizations and what projects are you working on currently. We're gonna start off with David. Come on, David. Blondie.
Hello, everyone. David Munoz with Community Youth Center and Resilient OMI, currently working on the OMI Volunteer Assistance Program and supporting the NEN with various other projects across the city.
Nice to see you, David, again.
Nice to see you too.
All right. Helen? Wait, Helen? I'm unmute you. Come on.
Sorry. Oh, this is Helen from San Francisco Public Library. Hello, everybody. I am the Adult Services Librarian at Oceanfield Branch. Good to see you all.
What are you working on now?
I am a disaster services worker right now. I'm a contact tracer, calling people who has contact with COVID-19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Felicia, state your name, your organization, and what you're working on. Wait.
Thank you. I'm Felicia Thibodeau, the Executive Director at Southwest Community Corporation at IT Bookman Community Center. And I am working on food distribution, essential bags, connecting seniors to services, and currently closing my fiscal year.
Ooh, that's a lot. All right. Next, we'll have Renard. Wait. All right.
Renard Monroe, Youth First, Executive Director of Youth First. Working on too many projects right now, but just making sure the summer program with these little pods are running smoothly to different locations.
Okay, that's a lot. Mary, Evelyn.
Mary, Evelyn, our special place, childcare, we're trying to get all the African-American providers in the city together so that we can collaborate and help each other and find out what resources we have in the city.
Very good. Gail. Gail, I have to say congratulations to a wonderful event. Monica, everybody that was present, it was Invest Black was beautiful. Even me passing by, I was so excited. I was really juiced.
It was definitely a group effort, and I appreciate everyone on the call who supported me, especially Renard. I know I probably worked you to death with replacing water for me, but thank you. I'm with, my name is Gail Roseborough. I'm with Five Keys Schools and Programs. I'm actually working on two things. Number one, I do want to move the Invest Black action forward with really like making meaning to what that stands for in our community. And then the second thing is I'm working more in my school where we're based primarily in jails. I'm going to be working more in the jails, and I want to be able to connect students who are released from custody to different services that are offered in not only the OMI community, but communities throughout the city.
Okay. Very good. Nice to see you. Margie, state your name, your organization, and what you're working on. Let me unmute you. Hold on. Got it? All right.
My name is Margie Stokes. I'm at Grafton and Lee. I run March Child Care Inc. for the last 34 years.
Nice. Very good. Thank you. Maurice Rivers.
Hi, everyone. This is Maurice from Next Door Ingleside, an OMI Cultural Participation Project. Right now, I'm juggling a million things, but I have been asked to join the board of the Performing Arts Workshop that will be operating out of the Geneva Powerhouse. So I am pretty much working on getting myself acquainted with them and how to get them acquainted with us and the broader OMI and District 11 community so that they can serve us.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Look at that. Let's see. I'm ending with you, Monica. Don't think I'm ignoring you. All right. Laura Padilla, I know that you're not feeling well, but
Hey everyone.
hi.
Hi.
What are you working on? You're from Mission YMCA.
Mm-hmm.
What are you working on?
Right now, just trying to relax, I think. We just closed a fiscal year, and just trying to, continue volunteering with food deliveries. I think usually in July I take some time off and I garden, I do volunteer work, try to catch up with some summer cleaning. So yeah, usually this is like my rest month. But there's a lot happening in our community, so trying to, make sure that I'm available to help out in any way I can.
Very good. Okay, so we have David, I did you, right? Munoz? Yes, okay. Gail, Helen, Lori, Monica, state your name, where you're from, and what you're working on.
Ooh, Monica Chinchilla, supervisor, South East
Not that
office.
one.
Oh. Oh, my bad. There's two.
Monica.
Oh, gosh. Come on. Okay. I'm going to let her keep talking.
I need her to finish. I need her to get to the end, be the end person.
Who, me?
No. Well, Monica.
Oh, Monica's the end. Oh, see, I think she is. She pronounces her slightly different than mine. Anyway.
Okay, where are you at? What you working on?
I am in South Lake Tahoe, and I'm going to plant flowers.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, we have one more. Wallace Fung. Did you want to introduce yourself to the group?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Wallace. I'm at the CYC Paving office right now. I'm working on the Immigrant Worker Relief Fund.
Oh, very good. All right. Welcome. Okay, I think we're done. Monica, you're up.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Monica Chinchilla from Supervisor Safai's office. And did you want to talk about things I'm working on or budget?
Everything.
Everything. So working on a lot, just in terms of, yes, we're going into budget. I've been working with each of the different departments to talk about potential impact to services and programming in District 11. I thankfully, in terms of a couple organizations or departments I've reached out to, because OMI and District 11 is identified as opportunity zone, they're really trying to be mindful in terms of what cuts, if any, they make, and if so, cutting less compared to like other parts of the city. So be rest assured that we're doing everything we can right now to be proactive and to mitigate the impact for our district, as well as talking about additional investment as we're looking at, really strengthening the capacity and funding for Black-led and serving organizations, particularly within the OMI. So we're having multiple conversations with MOCD, with HRC, the Human Rights Commission, with the Mayor's Office, as well as DCYF about these are the organizations that are serving. These are, the ones that as we talk about investing in Black lives, here are the people that are actually doing it. And so we'll see how those conversations progress as we get closer to August when the mayor finalizes her budget. Besides that, working on our various projects. I had a walkthrough with Merced Heights last week and talking to that new project manager and, really what we can do to speed up that effort to get that, done by the end of July, as well as, we will have the ribbon cuttings for that project, as well as Alice Chalmers and the Geneva Car Barn, all within the next, month and a half. And we're coordinating with the mayor's office to make sure she's present and can, really be a part of those community celebrations. In addition, so that's that. Again, just working with our many CBOs in terms of COVID recovery. I know that many of you are doing your additional, not your regular work, your previously funded work in different ways as we're doing that remotely, but then also at the cusp of COVID recovery. And so what additional funds do we need to really help our community recover? And we're thinking of actually doing a town hall within the next month or so, specifically with the OMI community about what funding is needed and what we could do to really invest Black and invest in our community. So let me see what else. I have a bunch of things on the list. Alimony, well, that's not really. The library, Mary would appreciate this. I had a conversation with the librarian a couple weeks ago just about how do we get service back to the Ocean View branch. And he was very frank and upfront, and I appreciated it, that 2/3 of his workforce has been deployed as disaster service workers. Like, they're the ones in the front line in terms of testing, in terms of community outreach, in terms of the food banks, et cetera. And so they're really having an issue getting their employees back. And so he doesn't know the timeline about when library services can resume. However, once they do resume, we have the commitment to have some type of service for Ocean View, whether it's a bookmobile, a delivery of free books to the different organizations so that our families and community have access to, to literacy. Also, as well, within their budget, which they proposed, was an additional $2 million for our project. And so hopefully we get to keep those dollars unless the mayor calls for the 5% contingency for the library. So if that's the case, then that has to go away for that. But as it is right now, we have an additional $2 million for that project. And then, oh yes, we did have a proposal for slow streets within the OMI, and I want to share that with you to see what you guys think. I'll talk about that at the end. And then, I'll talk about that now. So there was a proposal, and I don't know if they shared it with you yet, but one of the proposals that they had for slow streets, and again, this would be announced on Monday, would be to go from Farallons, from Orizaba to San Jose, and Capitol from Ocean to Broad. And so I definitely want to hear you guys think about that, and we can talk about that after, but just that is a site that they're looking for, that they're proposing in the OMI to have an additional slow street. So that would be vertically Ocean to Broad for Capitol, like right on the side of the park, and then Farallons, which is perpendicular to the park, a couple blocks down from San Jose to Orizaba. So if you don't have to let me know right now, or you can just email me, let me know what you guys think about that. That would be great. And then just finally, as we're trying to.
Monica, when you say slow streets, that means what?
That means how right now they have in different parts of the city where they close it off to through traffic.
No cars.
Yes. Yeah, they close it off to through traffic. Well, we don't say no cars. They close off to through traffic to allow more pedestrians and bikes and skateboarders, whatever. They don't entirely close it off because they still want to have a pathway for like the fire department or people who live along those streets. But it is a section of the city that is just dedicated to really helping promote, pedestrian spaces in shelter in place.
What is the area again?
The first one was Farallons from San Jose to Orizaba. So that's kind of the bottom part of the park from San Jose to Orizaba. And then the second one was Capitol from Ocean to Broad. So Capitol is the street that runs on the, okay, if you're,
We know where it is.
yeah, from Ocean to Broad. And so that's like a very long area.
Long.
It is
Yeah.
long stretch of land and, you know, hills and everything. So let me know if that is something you guys think would work as well. But they want to propose those two on Monday, or they want to share those two and move forward with it on Monday. So let me know what you guys think.
That's interesting, since we're already hurting for parking and
Yeah.
everything. I don't, that's just me.
Yeah, no, I don't think, honestly, Capitol would be a good one, but
I don't think so at all. No.
That'll be
That's a
fine.
main street.
No.
That's a main street to get from one part of the OMI to the other part. No.
Yeah, we're already heel challenged. It's a little.
Thank you.
That's fine. And what about Farrell Hall?
I think that,
Capital is going to impact Plymouth very negatively.
right.
Okay.
I know those streets, so the objective is to give a space for, residents to have a space to like walk or ride their bike. And I just, right now, those streets aren't really used for those. But people have mentioned the parking. It's a really tight street.
Yeah.
I mean, we have Brotherhood Way, which is a walkway for, I don't know, we could promote that. I just don't see the need for slow streets right now in our neighborhood. I think we could promote some of like our big outdoor spaces like Sisterhood Gardens, Brotherhood, the Greenway.
Yeah.
We also have, Mini Lovey where people could walk in the grass. Like I feel like we have outdoor options already that are not, they're being a little bit underutilized maybe. I don't know. I just don't see it being shut down and then the increase in residents using that space for what the purpose is.
Okay, and that's fine. That's why I wanted to bring it to y'all to see what you think, because you
No.
live.
We agree with that too.
Could we move that money to more lighting and,
Yeah.
clean streets?
I don't know what money they put behind it. They just
There's no money in this.
they just put cones and a sign up. That's
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice thought, though.
But I can take that feedback back. Like, okay, if we're gonna look at larger thoroughfares like Brotherhood Way or something that's not, gonna
Or less traveled streets or something. That's
Yeah.
that's a main street.
Yeah, that's
They'll be
Yeah, we
running
could put,
over people going down Capitol to get on the freeway. So that is not, we need speed bumps, but they'll run the people all the way down to get to the freeway.
Yeah. And then in addition, so I'll take that feedback back, and so we'll kill those. But in terms of the, NTIP, we have the speed bumps, the 25 that are coming. We are going back and forth with fire to get these, moved along and approved as quickly as possible. They want to turn every speed bump into a cushion, and so we're just kind of going back and forth with that. And we hope to get it in the queue to be installed or whatever, constructed by the end of the summer, early fall. So hopefully we can see that in our district as well. And then, that is it for now.
Wow.
Yeah. If there's any questions or concerns that people have, please let me know.
I've
been, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Miss Margie.
I was just gonna say, this may sound weird, but do they ever think about putting stop signs where there are child cares and stuff like that? We have these people flying by and accidents on the regular. Do they ever consider stuff like that?
They
on
do.
The corner we are on Lee and Grafton, I can't tell you how many accidents we have, and you got child care centers right there with little kids. I often wonder.
They do, and let me put that on my list, like Lee and Grafton, because they do. Oftentimes there's two paths, like you have your community submitted path, but then you have like the supervisor's office who kind of fights for it. It's whatever. So I will put that on our list to see if they've done a traffic study on that spot, because usually that's the first step, is they do a traffic study and then they determine yes or no, and then we can push back. So
in our house, we had the car hit 3 times behind it being an accident right there and swinging around and hitting our house and the cars on 3 times, and we got a child care on the inside, and so it happens on
Margie, Margie and Monica. So today is the deadline for the traffic calming application. So I'm submitting one today. I could submit one for Grafton because they're not, because of COVID, they waived the petition. So we don't need a door knock and get the 40 signatures for the street.
Yes, yes.
And so
Perfect.
I'm submitting one for the 200 block of Arch, and I could go ahead, if you give me the cross streets right now on the chat.
We're on the corner of Lee and Grafton. I'll put it in the chat. We're on the
and
corner
then I'll
of Lee
go
and
ahead
Grafton.
and submit that application
Thank
for
you.
us. And yeah, and I could do that today. Today's the deadline.
Okay, perfect. And please,
so
please
that
keep
will
me-
just start
yeah.
the process of them looking into that street and getting
Thank
the speed evaluated.
They do that in donuts, so it would help.
Yeah, that's another big concern I have lately that's been picked up
They
is
do
the
donuts in
donuts
front
happening.
of us all the time.
Yeah, there's been an increase in car adventure lately. Thrill rides.
Perfect. Thank
Do
you.
we even want to
Please make
talk
sure-
about the fireworks?
Oh
Outrageous.
my gosh. It's okay. We can.
That is just off the hook.
I know. Unfortunately, with Captain Hart's departure, the Project Kaboom.
Yeah, but we have Terrible. We don't have Captain Art.
Oh, I know. Okay, terrible. I know the Project Kaboom was kind of one of the main thing that was really working on fireworks. We've just learned from PD that project is not going to be moving forward this year, and so they're really just relying on folks to call the non-emergency line to report fireworks or to report, when it occurs. They are also looking for hotspots, and so they've identified various hotspots of where to go during the 4th and before to try to, get people in the act. But yeah, it's been frustrating, the lack of response and action towards this item. So, but if you guys have any, this block is, particularly hot, or this block is whatnot, just please let me know.
And I wanted to go back to, because I'm on Capitol between Broad and Sedoa, and they speed from Capitol and Broad to Sagamore to get on the freeway. So I had a petition to do speed bumps, and we have 2 child cares on Capitol and Broad. So one across the street from another. So parents can't get in or out. They have to be careful. So.
Okay, let me look at that. And then what I can do as well, I can send you all, let me see, Nick Carr, the latest map for these speed bumps, about where the 25 locations are going to be installed. I'm just trying to pull it up right now.
Because we're by Sheridan also, so Sheridan Elementary School, right down the street.
And you said, okay, so let me see. What you said, what street was it?
It's Capitol between Broad and Sagamore. They start at Broad Street, and then they speed up and go past the stop sign on Sedoa to go to Sagamore to try to beat the light on Sagamore.
Right.
Yeah, there currently are speed bumps planned to be installed on Sedoa. There's about 2 of them or 3 of them from Sedoa between Plymouth. Yeah, between Plymouth and I can't think of the other street. I think it's Orizaba. And so there are some on Sedoa that are coming along the line, but in terms of Capitol, not this one, but I can look into it. They have 2 existing crosswalks, raised crosswalks on Capitol, on Lobos, and
No, it's closer to Broad, because it's Broad Street is when they rev their engines and start going down.
All right, Capitol.
Right, so it's Capitol between Sedoa, Broad and Sagamore.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I'll look into that as well. And if that's something you want to submit as well on her behalf, Laura, that'd be great. Just please CC me on all of those. And since this hasn't been legislated yet, we can kind of see what we can do to move things around to get, the ones for the OMI. But that's our priority, the ones for the OMI in the works.
I wanted to ask about the funding for Invest Black. Do we get the funding for that? Do we still need to do a GoFundMe page? What's going on with that?
So with the team, go ahead, Gail.
Felicia was able to pay out of their budget front money for Malik, which was a total of $2,500, $1,500 to get started, and additional $1,000 for his artist fee. Felicia, did you forward more money as well?
Yes, I the 1,500 for the supplies, the 1,000 for the design, and then the artist fee of 3,000. That was a total of, I think, 5,500.
So we do need to reimburse the IT Bookman Center for fronting the fund.
I believe that ICY paid 500 and Renard 500 or 600. So there's an additional, I think, 1,000 or 1,100 added to that for a total of like $6,600 it took just for those components.
Yeah, so that is a big concern of mine, that this money get repaid, especially to our nonprofits, and I don't know what's happened with that. I asked Kathy because she was going to contact Fillmore to see if they had any money, and then she was told not to do a GoFundMe page, which I think was ridiculous. We need to do that. Even we're going to need it ongoing, because every 3 to 6 months they want to touch it up. So we're going to need supplies and paint for when that happens.
Yeah. We're supposed to have a debriefing call, so that'll.
I understand that. I get that, but I just want to keep it beating that drum. These people need their money back, and we need to have a plan to make sure it happens.
Right. So I think the expectation is to be able to discuss that during the debriefing call and determine how the monies will be reimbursed, because that is, of course, something that's in the forefront of our minds.
Okay, but the call's just 30 minutes, and there's a lot of us on the call. I just want to make sure that we move forward on all fronts.
Yeah, that is our priority as well. We don't want to make sure people are left out of pocket. And so that is going to probably be the majority of the discussion on Wednesday. And so we will create a plan to make sure that everybody is reimbursed and that we can cover the whole cost.
Okay, thank you so much.
Very good.
Okay, so real quick before I hop off, so one final thing, I especially from the supervisor's office, etc., there's sometimes, we're in a position of very much of privilege, and I want to make sure that whenever I'm communicating with the leaders in this community or any community, especially African American leaders during this time, that we're being sensitive about language and we're communicating things properly. And so if there's ever a time that I offend, or I could say something better, or that things need to be communicated differently in an empowering way, please let me know. I know I'm not perfect. I know I still have a lot of growth to do. And I want to make sure that as the chief of staff, or even just as our office, every communication is empowering. Because I just had my ass handed to me from another community leader from another district, and rightfully so. And so it just made me be more aware about how I can be better for y'all. So please, if there's ever a time that I say something offensive, or I could say better, or there's a way that to communicate it that's more empowering, please let me know. I take no offense. I always want to grow. So.
Thanks, Monica.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I think we.
Let me say something before you go, though, Monica. Never, for my personal, I know. Hopefully, some other people will feel the same way, but I just feel like never be politically correct. Right. And saying something better and learning from it are two different things in my view. Is just personally, because I want to know what you honestly feel, or you know what I mean? And honesty is the best policy as far as making sure the communication is correct. So you're not going to say things the right way all the time. Nobody is. And we can't hold people to a higher standard. So I'm sorry that someone, as you said, you got your ass handed to you. But I mean, we have to communicate. That's the only way we can solve things, get better, and as a whole, not just as individuals, but as a whole. And me personally, I appreciate all the things that you have tried to do in our community. You have worked really hard, and I appreciate it personally. And you've never not answered the phone or email. You've been there, And it's sometimes people just don't see and appreciate the work that people do.
Right.
So I want to make sure that you understand that you're appreciated and the things that you do are not going unnoticed.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that to anyone and everyone. Keep being you first and foremost. Keep being you. Keep being genuine and keep doing the work that God has called you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And don't worry about anybody else as far as you have to say everything right or that's absurd.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Your work speaks volumes and what you've done in this community. And I know there's a lot of people that can vouch for that. Okay. So keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. And I appreciate you. I know a lot of people on this Zoom call appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
And stop. You can't be perfect. Nobody is. And don't hold yourself to a standard that the person that probably was talking to you can't even hold themselves to. You understand what I'm saying? So keep being you. Your life matters as well.
Yes.
And thank you.
Do you have a mic to drop right now, Renard?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. That was perfect. That was
Yes.
absolutely
Thank you.
perfect. You
so
and Kathy Moki-Meyer have worked your asses off for
Right.
district, and we know it. And I even saw a couple of your colleagues getting chewed out from Usher because they were just sort of standing around last Wednesday watching.
Yeah.
You were everywhere and doing everything. And Renard said, we know it. We got your back.
Yes.
You want us to kick somebody's butt.
Yes, give them the number. Give me the number, girl. Give me the number. I got some pent up. I got some pent up energy.
Because we love you and we know you're doing the work. Thank you.
That's okay. I can say your words for you, honey.
Yes,
Marty will kick
yes.
you later, but I'll say it.
All right. Thank
She
you so
does
much.
the work when the camera's not rolling. Everybody wants to show up for that photo op.
Right.
I want to see what you're doing when the camera's not around. And I know what Monica does when the camera's not around.
Yeah.
So
we appreciate you.
Thank you, God. I appreciate it. Y'all, I gotta wash my face now. All right, we'll talk later.
It's not on your next call, girl.
I know, right? Turn the camera off. All right, thank you. Bye.
I love you. We love you.
We love you too. I love you too. Thank you all.
Oh, thanks, Monica. Hugs.
Thank you. All right, bye.
Oh, all right. Now, David, what you got?
Hi, everyone. So today we had another check-in meeting, and we have a really large ask. I'm going to let the other folks who were in the meeting do the ask, and then after that, I'll continue to talk. But lots of really good work coming for our volunteer assistance program that hopefully we'll be able to launch soon. So I'm going to let the others take over it and give you the ask, because I believe that it's important for your community to speak for you. I'm merely just a conduit trying to make sure that the group is on track. So outside of that, I'm going to try to let the community speak.
Mary? No, I'm kidding. So we had our meeting earlier, and we are moving forward with the distribution, or not the distribution, preparing to distribute the wellness kits to the OMI community. With that being said, we need to ramp up the volunteers. And David and Daniel have really worked really hard to build up the structure. Now we need the people to come in and help. We met earlier, and the volunteers that we're needing is to assemble the disaster preparedness kits, to do the distribution, and to reach out to anyone that needs to be communicated to during with the disaster kits. With that being said, we've built in, we also need the people. So the question was in the meeting was to use, start using the Google questionnaire, right? The Google questionnaire to put in information, and we wanted to use the Invest Black as the volunteer list to drop into this forum so that we can build up on people that have already worked with us. I had texted with Gwen. Gwen sent me to Gail. Gail is sending me to Felicia because Felicia has a list from the Invest Black. Felicia, are you comfortable sharing that list so that we can activate those volunteers for our continuing efforts? I guess that's my question. I haven't been able to text you yet.
Yes.
All right. How many people are on that list?
I have no illusions because I haven't seen the list. I'll get it from Miss Joyce.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. So I think that's the major ask. I know that we plan on getting together to assemble the kits in August. In August, and we really want to make the wheel go round on this. David?
Yes, thank you so much, Delia, for debriefing. I think garnering the volunteers is going to be fairly easy for this community, and in particular in this moment when people are actually, eager to help. But we need to know who your clients are. So across the board, everybody that's in this CC meeting, and everybody that's added via email, I shared with you 2 weeks ago a list for a client database. So if folks could go in, and I can reshare that with you after this meeting, but if folks could go in and let us know who you think needs help in the OMI, that's going to be extremely helpful. It's of no use to us if we gather a group of volunteers and then those volunteers have nobody to reach out to, right? I think the point of this program is for volunteers to be able to make solid connections. Volunteers who live in the OMI or perhaps in the district to make solid connections with community folks so that we can build a network of trust that CBOs can actually plug into, right? So that if there's a family who needs a resource that they're not getting from you, perhaps they can get it from somewhere else, right? And to really just make a more connected OMI. This is your neighborhood, so like I said, I'm just merely helping with technical support. And thank you, Maurice, for sharing the link to the Google Doc. I really appreciate it. But yeah, this is the work that needs to be done. We really want to make sure that August is the kickoff date, and so that we can do something highly visible for the neighborhood, right. so that potential clients that we're not catching, right, can see this. And the idea really is to move beyond COVID, right? COVID's going to be with us for quite some time, but we're also going to have the flu. We're going to have heat waves. We're going to have a fire season, right, or a poor air quality season. So we want to make sure that as our volunteer network grows and our client database grows, we're able to plug them into all of this information, right? Just think about all the times somebody, one of your clients didn't receive information because of a language barrier or because they just had no idea where to get the information from. So we really want to make sure that we can create this so that it's robust and so that it has longevity, which is most important, right? I just don't want it to be a one-off response.
Well, it goes in line with the Invest Black, right? It's investing in the community. It's continuing. It's continuing the movement. It's continuing the revolution. So this is very important. And David, you're going to resend the link to everyone.
Yes.
Or resend it to me, and then I can resend it to everyone.
Okay, yeah. So I'll send you both. Laura asked for the volunteer form, so I'll send you both, and then you can distribute. Yeah.
And then did we decide on the place and the time? No.
So that's TBD. We're going to determine that in the next meeting. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Very good.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, David.
When is the next meeting, David?
Next meeting will be Tuesday, right before this meeting, 12 o'clock.
The 6th?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No,
6, 7.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what day Tuesday is. I don't know what day of the week it is in general.
Okay. Fearless leader.
I'm operating on my calendar and Fuse.
Very good. All right. Let's see, anything else we need to discuss in this meeting? No? All right. Well, we have the Invest Black debrief tomorrow at 4. And that invite should be coming out shortly. The African American Child Care Collaborative, did we say we're meeting on Friday? We didn't say. It's a holiday. Are we? Mary, unmute yourself, girl.
Yeah.
Mary?
Mary?
I'm not sure if we set a time yet. We didn't set a date or anything.
It's not Friday.
No Friday?
Just no Friday.
No Friday. All right. All right. We need a break.
Yeah.
All right, that's great. Anything else for the good of the order?
May I ask the question?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Margie Stokes' daughter, Josanne Stokes. I'm new to this, and I'm very interested in the work. I wanted to ask a question about one thing I see about low-income housing down here at City College. With $250,000 per unit, and they're getting ready to start taking the applications next year. Do we know anything about that, and do we spread the word, and what all that's about?
They are working on getting it approved. They have to get through the approval process first. I know there's priority for the teachers, but they're trying to get approved. I know there was some issues with the issues were with the neighbors. I think there was some changes that were made that the neighbors did not agree with. I know they are going to, I think they're pending approval for the Board of Supervisors next month. Mary, correct me? Yes. And I know Scott Falcone he's the consultant for the project, and he was on our call a couple of months ago or a month ago, and they're just trying to get approval. It hasn't even broken ground yet.
Okay. Just was wondering and about getting the word out to people that really need housing, if it was,
Yeah,
Thank you.
I mean, the project is in action, but it still has to be approved, and it hasn't even broken ground yet.
Okay, thank you.
Maurice, do you have any updates you want to share?
Can I say something regarding that really fast, regarding the housing?
Yeah.
Just to let them know we partner with San Francisco Home Ownership and Bishop. There's a banner outside IT Bookman with the number, and I can grab that for you. But they are still doing housing counseling for OMI residents who want to be in position, excuse me, who want to be in position.
Uh-oh, what happened? Felicia?
She's on mute.
Oh, my phone had rang, I'm sorry. As well as other housing opportunities, not only for seniors, but for anyone in the community. And that partnership is specifically being created so that we are in position when those applications and housing that we'd already be connected. So kind of what we're doing right now is referring people to to Bishop, and having them be on list and things so that when the workshops are able to start back happening, our community's connected.
Right.
So they were doing workshops here at IT Bookman, and I believe I'm not sure where else, but that they're still connecting with families. It's all being virtual, so that when the shelter in place is lifted and or the housing applications become available, or the process of even how that looks, because there's a lot of community input on those once the approval happens, that we'd be in the know. So I'm gonna share that information in the chat. I'll go out there and grab it. Oh, here you go, right here. So
thank you.
Okay.
Maurice, any events?
I put it in the chat, but Cayuga Community Connectors, they're having another Vigil of Justice this Thursday, July 2nd from 5 to 6, and it'll be at the Geneva Car Barn again. So bring a sign, bring a mask.
Bring some water.
Definitely.
All right. Okay. All right. I think we're good. We got enough. I'll send the links to the information for David to market to our groups, and I will see you next Thursday.
Yeah, it's already sent to you, Delia. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ooh-wee.